Welcome back to day 2 of the 400EX restoration. We got a new subframe in from Powersports Nation. The last one we got was a little tweaked, so we hit them up and they sent us a new one. Got a fresh coat of paint on that thing, so we're going to get to installing it on the 400 and go from there. Since we left off with installing the Tech steering stem and the Fast Flex handlebars, now we're going to go ahead and install the PEP stick stabilizer. So I raced half a season this year on a stock YFZ 450R with no steering stabilizer, just because I just didn't have the money to buy one. A lot of those puck style stabilizers are $600 to $800. When you're first getting into the sport, something like this will work great. The PEP stabilizer, it's adjustable. It's got these 3 holes. Leverage will adjust your stabilizer a little bit. They're rebuildable. They're easy to install. When you're running without a stabilizer, the bar will get ripped out of your hands a lot. Give you real loose feelings. You install one of these, it'll really help you out and give you a better feel, a lot more confident in the front end.
Installing the PEP steering stabilizer is pretty simple and straightforward. We forgot to tell PEP that we were installing a larger diameter TRX 450R steering stem from Tech, so we'll have to wait to install the steering stem clamp when the new one arrives. Next, it was time to install the freshly painted subframe that we'd received from ATV salvage parts supplier Powersports Nation. The first one we'd received looked a little rough, with bent mounting tabs for the brake light. This one was straight and mechanically perfect. There was a slight flat spot on the end of the grab bar from previous wheeling. However, we find that completely acceptable for this project. All painted up, it was nearly a perfect replacement at a much lower price.
We got the subframe all installed, put the air box back on, gas tank, and this bike came with a brand new cheap Chinese filter. We're going to get rid of that and put a good quality uni foam filter in there. We want this bike to run for the next couple of years, run good. We know the quality of a uni filter, so we'll go ahead and install that. The uni filter doesn't come pre-oiled. We're going to go ahead and oil this up with the Maxima Fab 1. This is really good quality air filter oil. It works for fabric and foam filters both. We like to use this, gives you a nice good even coat all the way around, spraying it on, and does a really good job of keeping the dust and the dirt out, just an extra layer of protection. As you can see here on the bottom of the frame, this thing's pretty mint. There's no dents in the A-arms, there's no flat spots on the bottom of the frame. This frame's been really taken care of, the whole quad has. So we're going to go ahead and protect that before we take it on the trails. And we're going to add some Ricochet A-arm guards, get full skid plate, and just keep the bottom of this frame protected, and also keep the bottom of your engine cases protected. When we went to go mount up our Ricochet skid plates, there's some cheap Chinese Nerf bars on this quad, but we're going to leave them just for the safety factor, but they're not going to fit the skid plate. The skid plate rides right on the frame and uses these U-bolt clamps to clamp it down. So we're going to go ahead and remove these Nerf bars. We'd rather have the protection on our engine. We'll come back later and get some better Nerf bars that don't mount on the bottom. This skid plate's really heavy duty. It's real thick aluminum. When you pick it up, you can tell it's made well. It's going to protect your whole swing arm and just keep everything safe. It's really a good looking product. When we bought this bike, it came with zip ties holding up the heel guards and just a bunch of mix-match hardware, store hardware. So we went online and ordered some genuine Honda bolts and hardware to fit this back up, and we're going to get it right. Day 3 of the build here. Last night we worked a couple hours putting some stuff together. And when you buy a bike and you start ordering parts, sometimes you overlook things. So we ordered the Texera Tech 450R stem for this bike, which is an upgrade. It bolted up fine, but the clamp on our PEP stabilizer is just a little bit too small. It's for the 400EX stem. That was our bad, we just didn't think about it. So while we're waiting on that, we're going to go over this thing and freshen it up and give it a new look. The brakes on this bike are actually in pretty good condition. Looking at them, they still look like they're the factory brakes, and there's not much wear on them, so that's just another indication of how low hours this machine is. We're going to go ahead and throw some new brake pads on it and bleed the brakes, get a little bit firmer brake feel, maximize the stopping power, and so we don't have to worry about them for the next couple of years. We got the new brake pads installed. Now we're going to go through, we're going to bleed the brakes, just get some of this old fluid out. There's probably air in the lines from sitting over the years. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. We're really shooting for reliability on this quad, so we're going to go with a set of Beadlock wheels. With the stock wheels, you debeat a tire, your tire's going to come off the rim and you're going to be stuck wherever you're at. With the Beadlocks, you lose a tire, cut a tire, whatever. The Beadlock's still going to hold the tire on there and you can at least limp your quad back to camp. These wheels are really good, solid wheels. There's a lot of racers that run these. These are actually the same wheels that we put on the YFZR build that we just did. But what's cool is they're interchangeable between Honda and Yamaha, maybe some other brands too, I'm not for sure. But we took these off the YFZR build and we're going to throw these on here and mount some fresh GBC tires on them. The way they're able to fit a Honda and a Yamaha is they're pre-drilled, so you can see the holes we've used on the Yamaha, and these 4 other holes here are for the Honda pattern. So when we're picking tires for this quad, we had to be really selective. It's only a 400, so a lot of tires you use can either hurt the performance of this quad, but you can help it a lot too. With the front, we went with an XC Master from GBC. Really tall tread depth. It's a really solid tire. Steers you in the right direction. It's not going to slip out from underneath you. It's just all around a really good tire in all the conditions. On the rear of the quad, we're going with a GBC Ground Buster 3. The reason we went with the Ground Buster 3 over the XC Master, as this is just a lighter tire. We didn't go with the GB3 Pro because this GB3 has a little bit more of a crown on the top of the tire, so a little less rubber on the ground. You can slide the thing around a little bit better and have more fun with it with a lower CC engine. This old seat covers, it's not ripped or anything, but it's got some stains on the side, so we're going to go ahead and replace that with a newer, updated one. For the seat cover, we went with Cosmic Quads. Really awesome company. They specialize in restoration seat covers, so for your older quads and three-wheelers. This one they made custom for us for the 400. We got the old style lettering on the side and the Honda logo on the back, so this should match up with our graphics really good.
After a few hours, the FTR Powersports graphics kit was installed, providing us with a new look that we were very happy with. There's a little mechanical drama and a few more updates to go before we finally tally the price and put our 400EX to the test. Subscribe so you don't miss the final chapter in the build as we prepare for test day.